Contemporary cinema tends to reflect different social contexts, and often it spreads new trends and behaviors. The operators of this sector have finally realized the importance of adopting economic strategies to promote a movie. Digital cinema has reasserted the hegemony of the American cinema industry. In fact, the American major film studios continue to have a great influence on the worldwide market. Digital cinema represents a turning point for the industry of cinema because special effects are used to substitute kilometers of celluloid film with digital filmmaking during post-production, so the costs of production decrease and the standardization of products as well. The establishment of a new kind of movie theater called multiplex led to a distinction as for the supply of goods. Experimental movies are projected in traditional movie theaters, whereas a multiplex offers commercial movies to reach a wider audience. The increase in the modalities of consumption and the related channels of distribution determined an increment in profits. Nonetheless, in some cases, there could be an excess of supply. The role of the state is very important. As for the funds, the international producing agencies and the national film commissions to strengthen the production. Filmmaking in Italy means generating a lot of economic benefits. Besides, hosting important foreign productions increases the credibility of Italy at international level. In fact, Italy can count on the natural scenarios and the historical backgrounds, so there is the possibility of attracting a higher number of foreign productions and creating bonds with the international cinema operators. The life cycle of a movie has become longer, thanks to the increase in the distribution channels that lead to more profits. In fact, in some countries, the home video market produces a much more profitable business than the box office business. But it is necessary to improve the management of movie rights in order to invest in another movie. The agencies of distribution take charge of the dubbing, a technique that was developed at the end of the 30s, after that a fascist law banned the release of movies with foreign dialogues in Italy. Currently, dubbing divides public opinion. In fact, there are those who grow fond of dubbers' voices and those who prefer subtitles because they think that dubbing reduces the quality of movies. There are many features that put translators to the test, such as the translation of cultural expressions, idioms, accents, and dialects. But the real challenge is the translation of humor lines, especially if the irony is created during the interaction between two different communication channels, that is to say, images and words. The irony could also proceed from polysemy or homophone between words of the source language. The translators, adapters, will have to take into consideration all the extra-linguistic aspects and their impact on the film translation. Choosing the best translation techniques depends on linguistic reasons and partly on economic reasons. In fact, dubbing implies higher costs. Hollywood productions and TV shows are the most expensive. The profession of the dubber requires specific features, such as a correct diction, expressiveness of voice, and the ability of empathizing with the original actor. Soon, all these features made Italian dubbers famous all over the world, and still, nowadays, they are considered the best in the field. During the translation, the scripts go through a process of neutralization to reduce the cultural differences. For this reason, translators often substitute hyponyms with hyponym. That is to say, they change specific terms with generic terms to make the dialogues more easy to comprehend. The standardization of dialogues reduces the social-linguistic variation by using a standard variety to make the dubbed language as much homogeneous as possible. Film translation goes through a continuous process of domestication and foreignization due to the coexistence of different cultures that are essential. In other words, it is not always possible to translate every subtlety of the source text in order to make it closely conform to the target culture. The dialogues in movies represent simulate speeches, and the challenge for the translator is to recreate a script whose dialogues sound like real speeches, with all the typical features of this kind of communication. According to some academics, in the 70s and 80s, the quality of dubbing decreased, partly due to fast-paced work, and also because of current traits of the American film industry that enshrine cease-fired dialogues with lots of slang phrases and idioms that require a greater effort. Translators often use rhetoric figures to solve translating problems, whereas, in order to make the dialogues as much spontaneous as possible, they use informal linguistic structures, such as left and right dislocation, it clefts. These constructions are particularly suitable for the audiovisual language, because they create a sort of continuous familiarity that engages the audience.